Hey, right. So first of all, let's have a quick test. Steve, say hello.
Evening.
Right. Hopefully, can we get somebody to just post us a quick comment and say you can hear both of us, so we know that side's working. Oh, here we go. We've got some comments. Evening, chaps. You going live, sunshine. Good evening, everybody. From Michaela. Restream. Slight better day. Hello, Michaela. Big question when you're having a good dance again. Well, we'll come to that in a minute. Can everybody hear us? That's the first question before we go any
Yeah, can
further
you all
on.
hear us?
I can see audio going around um, in OBS, so that's a good sign. Uh, hey, we can hear. Brilliant, it's working. We can hear both of you. Fantastic.
Super,
Really
super.
appreciate that, and sorry for it being a couple of minutes later than we really advertised. All right, you've got myself. I'm Jay Roberts, and you've got Steve Elliott. Say hello, Steve.
Good evening, folks.
So welcome and thank you for joining us on this stream. Steve can't see what's on the screen, but basically it looks like a TV news interview with us both split screen and side by side. With all sorts of scrolling messages. Purpose of this was an idea that me and Steve had on Sunday doing the debrief after the last virtual stream that we did. And we made a few notes of things. We'll try not to get off path too much. I'm notorious for waffling. Um, we're going to talk about a few things, aren't we?
We definitely are, yeah. The main one is that obviously everybody's frustrated with the situation surrounding streaming. So James, being the man that understands all that, he's going to try and explain the situation with it. And that's probably the first thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the sort of the copyright thing and see if we can clear some stuff up. We're going to talk about what F2D are doing during the lockdown and what we're going to do after the lockdown. What we want to do in the future. What F2D is going to when F2D is going to do a public live event. We that came up as a question. I'm going to do some tips on live streaming, or at least my thoughts on tips for live streaming for people. I'm well known for voicing my opinion on bad quality DJ streams, and also for anybody who's a budding DJ who watches this either now or I'd say in the next week or two, how you can get to play for us as well. There's a chat room which is on Facebook. It's going out on about 4 different places. It's going out on my own personal page. It's going out on the YouTube channels stream. It's going on the Free2Dance page, the Free2Dance group, if you remember there. And I think I've also pushed it to the J Roberts page as well. I can't remember, and I can't be bothered to go and switch. There is, if you post messages in the chat, I will try and watch it, but Greg,
Excuse me.
Michaela, and Caroline I think, are in there doing some moderating, and they're going to try and filter the good comments to us. So I'll just say hello to a few people who've posted really quickly. Danny Whittle's in there. Hi, Danny. Brian Wallace. Obviously, we know Michaela. Caroline's there. Rob Day. Hey, mate. How you doing? Sorry if everybody just sees the top of my head. It's because I can't read the screen. Let's see if I can just enlarge. Nope, it won't let me. I don't think. Yep, it will let me enlarge that window. That's good. I might actually stand a chance. Yeah, Rob Day. Who else is in here? Who I recognise? James Waterson. Hi, mate. How you doing? And Carl Cameron. Hey, Mr. Piano. One of the half of the Mr. Piano Men are here.
Good evening, Carl. Good evening,
Yeah.
everybody, actually. Obviously, I can't remember everybody that you said, but good evening to you all, and thanks for locking in.
Right. Okay. So shall we let's go back up to the top of my little agenda thing. So who are we? We're not the media elite. We're not absolute experts or anything like that. But we've got experience. I've worked in broadcast and concerts and events for the last 20 something years. And I have accreditations to go with that, specifically in live broadcast with multi-camera stuff. But that's just part and parcel. I've also been a DJ for nearly 30 years. Steve, do you want to just tell people a bit about you for people who don't know?
Yeah, I've been a DJ in and out of the dance scene for the last 30 years. Again, I've been involved in events and event promotion for probably that time as well, with breaks in between. But yeah, pretty experienced when it comes to licensing. I've worked in clubs and pubs as well in that time as other other things besides the DJ. So I do quite have understand about the licensing laws, but not as much as Jay does. So we'll let him tell you all about that.
All right. Steve's also one of the two founders. I'm not a founding member of Free2Dance. I was sort of press ganged into it along the way. Steve and Michaela are the two official owners, and Steve's kind of become the face of it, haven't you?
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I've been sort of bullied into this, and it's quite funny really that because I'm quite vain. I don't like the way I look with the lockdown hair and stuff. But you know what? It is what it is. We're all in the same boat, so we've got to accept it at the moment. It's just unfortunate that the world's in the state it is. But I'm sure we'll come out of it. I'll get an haircut.
Yeah, his nickname is Captain Vanity at the minute.
Well, I look like me dad.
DJ Fagan's joined the stream. Oh mate, how you doing?
Buddy.
Yeah. Let's see who else. My brother's in the stream as well. Hey mate. Matt Turner's with us. Hey dudes and dudettes. Let's see who else. Right, okay. And Michaela, as always, trying to make it all about her, is saying she's the boss, which she actually is. It's true, is that?
It's all about
right,
Michaela.
Okay, so I'm going to let you know now. I'm not going to be looking too much at the chat side of it whilst I go on the next bit. I'm going to try to as best as I possibly can. The big thing that came up on Saturday was obviously during Pete Orm's set, we had the stream restricted on YouTube, and this wasn't us. This wasn't a technical difficulty. It's our side. This was YouTube itself. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't recognise that, and we're going to take steps to try. We're going to take steps to at least get the information out there a lot better in the future, because we know people watch across multiple formats. Facebook didn't get muted at that point, but YouTube did. Normally YouTube leaves you alone until you get to the very far end of the night and you cut off, at which point then it goes blocked, because 20 odd different tunes. The reason for all this, as everybody knows, is the dreaded word copyright. And what we're seeing, the reason we wanted to do this stream was to try and address a few things, and kind of like, I know a fair old bit about the law when it comes to copyright and consumer law and stuff like that, but I'm not a lawyer. So let me just say that everything that I know and I'm about to tell everybody is more, how can I explain it, more my experience than being a trained professional and having gone to battling court or anything like that. Although God knows I've stood up and defended myself in court once or twice and won. First of all, there's a lot of misinformation. Everybody seems to be under this impression that you own the rights to play the music because you've paid for the track. You don't. That's sorry to burst everybody's bubble. You don't. You don't own any rights at all to play it. You own the right to own it, or more to own a copy of it. You own the right to play it for yourself in a non-public setting, and that's the important word here, non-public. So unfortunately, that's it. And if you try to put things like, and I see a lot of people copycatting each other and putting under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, yada yada yada, and that's not going to stop your stream getting taken down. It is not somebody reporting you, so let's clear that up. It is literally an automated process that is listening to the audio, and in YouTube's case now, even monitoring the video in your streams as well, whether it's live or pre-recorded, and you've put it up after the fact. So if you've produced a video, you have no way around it. There is no mechanism to contact YouTube. Only thing you can do is after the fact is dispute these things under fair use, which most of the time they will get rejected. Now, you won't get your channel taken down, but you will have to just basically accept that the rights holder doesn't want to let that music be played. And that is that, and your only option is either trim out the bit of the video or mute it. In most cases with Free2Dance, we choose mute. The licensing is one of the big things that has come up. And at the moment, PRS, which is the licensing organisation here in the UK, so I don't know, I can't remember what they're all called around the rest of the world. PRS at present has a license that you can buy for podcasting, which means that if you want to put a podcast radio show of your own together and put it on iCloud and Spotify and all the rest of them, you are then copyright cleared at that point. However, and this is the thing before everybody goes off and runs to the PRS site and all the rest of it, it's really important to note that in the terms of it, it explicitly excludes social media platforms. Now, just to be clear, by social media, we mean any platform where people could gather either watching in a one-way fashion or interacting in a two-way fashion that is public or behind a paywall, and about another 12 definitions I've managed to find during the course of today, which I'm not going to rattle off. But basically, if you try to go down the route of I'm going to set up my own server, which will not get into the technicalities of that and how much that's going to cost you to do for a start off, because you have to pay for the data that people pull from the server to watch it. So you're going to have to monetize it or be very, very rich and just, very, very giving and charitable, like I tend to be a lot of the time. There, basically, you cannot just set up a paywall site, and I know people are out there doing it. Now, I'm not saying that PRS don't have a license that you can buy for that. It's just that they don't have one that you can buy on the cheap for generalized social media type outlets like Facebook and YouTube. And the secondary problem to that is actually getting it to the attention of Facebook and YouTube. There is no number you can call. There is no real process. There's no email address that you can get in touch with. They understand that they are, whilst they're a massive organisation, they are human resources short, and there are billions of people across the planet. And with COVID-19 now, probably into the multiple billions of people sending in streams, not just music and DJing, but also gaming videos, which Nintendo are well known for taking people's gaming videos down. So it doesn't just apply to us as DJs and music and the music scene. That's the issue. What we're going to do, there is no quotes easy way around it. You can't just press some magic button. You could try and mutilate the audio, but by the time you've mutilated the audio, you've probably made it unlistenable anyway. So, and I'll cover unlistenable audio later on at the back end of this whole thing. But yeah, so just going across my notes, PRS has no license. Putting statements up doesn't work, and different platforms aren't going to help. That's the last thing I want to say on this. People were commenting, oh, Mixer and Twitch. Yeah, Twitch are just as bad. We watched Paul Van Dyk's stream get 15 minutes taken out of it live a few weeks ago. What are you going to do? If he, he's an artist, and there's the other thing as well. People say, but he's the actual owner. He's the artist. He made the record. Doesn't matter. He doesn't own the rights to it unless he is the record company, which he isn't. He publishes through X, Y, or Z. Then, and that's not X, Y, Z Records, by the way. It's just literally X, Y, or Z publishing company who signed the record to them. He does not own the rights to publicly play that, but he can perform it, and there's where it gets into a whole different thing. Festivals and pubs and clubs have their own music license, and that's why as DJs you don't need a license to do that, although God knows they tried to make it happen at one point and got shot down. I believe it's all going to change. Mixcloud, before anybody says anything, Mixcloud have managed to negotiate some kind of licensing rights for video-based production. I haven't, even though I'm a Mixcloud Pro subscriber, I haven't tried doing a stream on Mixcloud. You have to generate your own audience, so you have to drag people to it, and you're fighting against social media platforms that don't want you to put outbound links, which is Facebook. So you try to link to your Mixcloud, and your post will not see as many people's eyeballs as if you put a picture of a cat up, for example. That's the way. That is literally the way that Facebook wants that, because they want to be the host platform for everything, so they want you to use their live video platform and so on. The only thing I will cover, one last thing I'll cover, is that it happens in a bubble, does the content ID thing when you're working live. And this is why, if anybody's noticed, the stream from Saturday that had issues is up and visible to everybody except in Denmark, Finland, Sweden, and somewhere else. So the whole of it, including Pete Ormset, is all up there. And apart from where the internet here at the broadcast centre got disconnected just because BT were having trouble for about 60 seconds, and we had it all back up, and that's why it's split across 2 files. I'm going to do the usual thing and post each DJ set because we have a full continuous recording of the entire session. Yeah, so there's a bubble basically of when it processes the audio. So if you imagine this is the time, the playhead and the time, and it's just moving forwards, and the stream is scrolling past it like that. Back here somewhere, maybe anything up to 2-3 minutes ago, is where it's analysing your audio, and it cuts you off at this point here in real time because it thinks that you're still playing it. It's a really weird bubble, and it depends on how many people are streaming, how bogged down the content ID system is. But even though we kept getting blanked out, which I think is a bit unfair, to be honest, on YouTube, why don't you just mute the video, mute the audio at least, which would be a lot better. That'd be better, but they didn't. However, when you go back, you find that the tracks that they actually muted us for when we're on live aren't the tracks that they've put a monetization claim against. And the last bit I'll cover with that, with this whole sort of thing with Content ID and YouTube, is the fact that each rights holder can set what they want to happen when audio that they own the rights to is detected. They want to just steal any ad revenue, which Free2Dance aren't interested in any ad revenue off any of these videos anyway. We're doing this purely for entertainment and for not for profit, but that doesn't it doesn't make it right. It's just we're not interested in the monetization side at all. Or they can say block it, which is what Sony and Warner tend to do. I've got a message here. Let me read this. Nice one for sharing your knowledge. Don't wait for it's the next. Yeah, Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is. And he just said, Facebook user says, "Hi Jay, interesting stuff. This one, nice one for sharing your knowledge. Can't wait for next FTD once we can." Oh, cheers, mate. I don't know who you are. But thank you for the comment. We can't wait as well. Kipsy's in the thing as well. Kipsy. Yeah, and Smithy Chris Smith as well. And tagging a few people. So anyway, that's about as much as I want to say on the copyright thing. Just in summary, you can't get a license at the moment, although I'm hearing it's being worked on. It's a case of PRS negotiating and then setting the fee, because otherwise at the moment traditional sort of festival type stream licenses, they're quite expensive, and I don't think anybody wants to start paying that. And just to cut anybody off who says, yeah, but Defected have done one and a few other record, yeah, they're a record label. They actually have access to the rights managing system and can turn off any content ID for any of their tracks, and they can also sign a waiver, I believe, that if any audio is detected on any of their channels, that they basically just get filed what's called a log report, which is how radio works, and they have to pay any rights retrospectively within at the end of 30 days or something like that. They have they have like the next level up. They can actually manage it because they are rights holders. You can't just sign up as a rights holder unless you become a de facto record label. So Super McSmiley, which I think is it's Jay Allen. I watched Street Rave via Twitch a few weeks ago, and they seem to have a full day without interruption. It's random, mate. Seriously, people get taken down. Every one of the platforms is going to have to implement Content ID. They'll all end up being exactly the same, and a new platform will spring up, and then it'll get a legal notice saying it has to implement Content ID. That was one of the things I forgot to make in my notes. That if you've heard of something called the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, this was basically made by a lot of it was forced on to various governments across the world, and it's called different things in different countries. It was basically set up to make it the problem of the broadcast medium. So in this case, Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, etc. That if copyright music was played, they're basically the output stream. So rather than rights holders having to pursue me or anybody else who does a live stream, they made it the problem of the actual way by which you reach your audience, the medium for it, the media outlet. They basically can impose like ridiculously heavy fines per copyright breach, which none of them want any of that. So basically, the reason why you get cut off a lot of the time is the platform playing it safe, over safe. And again, until everybody gets in line, and I noticed Joey Negro made a statement saying it needs talking about, and a few others as well, Steve, haven't there? There's been a few of the big name DJs saying this needs to get talked about, don't they?
Yeah,
It was Joey
especially
Negro
now.
said something, and who was the other? It was Jazzy Jeff, wasn't it?
Jazzy Jeff, yeah.
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 So
There's been quite a few actually that have been like basically saying let's sign a petition and all that sort of stuff. But we can all do that to make the big organisations notice it. But like you were telling me the other day, it's not just one licensing organisation. Each country's got their own, so they've all got
yeah,
to talk to each other, kind of thing,
yeah,
which makes it
and
even more difficult.
the podcasting thing, Apple, by the way, because I got quite asked the question about like, well, how is Apple Music allowed to sell music? Because for every sale made, a portion of that sale value goes back to the rights holder through one mechanism or another. Might only be pennies, but it still adds up. You know, you get a million sales at a few pennies a piece, it's 10 grand, isn't it? You know, that sort of thing.
I kind of said people have got to understand that the artists don't get a lot of money for the music as it is. So it's only fair that if people are playing their music, that they get, you know, it's a minor amount of money as it is, but it's only fair. I mean, everyone wants music for free these days, but without paying the artists, you know, there's not going to be any music, kind of thing. So
yeah,
you've got to kind of understand where they're coming from with it all, you know,
a
and not.
small portion goes back to the label, says Carl Cameron. Sorry to cut you off. This is where I sort of lose where the money goes. The only thing I know about the music industry in that way is that artists tend to get absolutely shafted, and the
Yes.
record label and the rights. You know, anybody basically anywhere else who didn't do the work seems to get the lion's share of the money. Brian Hudson writes, your thoughts on key change when playing a tune. Add +1 to the key tone. I've streamed for hours using this method. Personally, I'm not so sure because I'm also a seasoned computer programmer, an algorithm designer, and that might work now. When they realise that's what's happening, they'll adjust the algorithm to suit it. Um, Personally, hey, if that works, that works. But I play a lot of my tunes at different keys. I do use master tempo quite frequently because I just prefer to keep it there. But I don't know. It's 50-50. If it works, it works. Personally, I like to keep the song in the original intended key and shift the tempo of it rather than shifting the pitch of it, so shifting the actual key up. And that can really screw up if you're trying to do harmonic mixing and a few other things. But hey, listen, mate, Brian, if it works and you can stay up whilst, stay up, keep your stream up whilst doing it, more power to you, mate. And that's one I haven't, to be honest, thanks for bringing the question up. I hadn't even really considered it. I've heard of a number of workaround ways that people have come up with. Some seem to work, some seem to not work, like talking all over it, doing the whole scream if you want to go faster kind of thing whilst you're doing the thing, whilst you're doing your DJ set. I don't know. It's all hit and miss, but I can kind of I can only give you what I know. That's there. Just Carl says. Danny Whittle agrees with us. Carl says each label can get reports on sales and streaming sales. I share a quarterly call informing our artists of royalties based on sales. You need to be listed on PRs to get royalties of off radio plays. Yeah, yeah. Like I say, I've dealt with the radio side of it, and I know about how logs work and things like that. But I've never really you've got way more knowledge of the other side, and at some point, Carl, we'll be doing another one of these, and we'd love to get you to join in on the stream and talk about that side of it. You can maybe shed some. Would you like to come and do that? Just give us a thumbs up if you would. We'll invite you in. Can't do it tonight because I'm just not technically set up to bring a third person into this stream at this time. Yeah, PRS. Yeah, that's right. So I think that's everything for copyright. That's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. And yeah, that was quite. I did actually have quite a lot of notes, and I've made that as concise as I possibly can, guys and girls. So, Steve,
Yes.
just making sure you're awake over there, mate. sat in your
No, I'm
car.
listening. We always knew it was going to be the technical stuff was going to come from you, mate. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I just tend to waffle about stuff anyway. So it's better
I,
if you explain it as we
yeah.
understand it better.
I just want to check you're not sat in your car to go out curb crawling or anything weird like that.
No, no, no. I am the curb girl at the moment. Look at the hair.
Right, so one of the topics was for you. I'll let you do some talking at this point, Steve. And it was what
Okay.
are FTD trying to do as a brand during lockdown? That was one of the cue card points. So go on, I'll let you talk for a few minutes about that.
Well, originally,
Whilst
before
take
all
a
this
slurp of
happened,
water.
yeah, originally before all this happened, we wanted to set up the YouTube channel anyway, and put content on there which is interesting. Obviously, not just music, but talks and interviews with producers and DJs, people like Carl, obviously, Ian Bland, from Dream Frequency, and other artists, obviously, and just put content on there. And then when this happened, James came up with the idea. So, well, we're not able to do any club nights. Everyone's cancelling. Um, shall we do some live streams and try and entertain you the best we can, basically? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you something to do while you're at home in your bedrooms, keep it interesting, and we're trying our best to make it as professional as possible. As you can see, we're trying to get different camera angles. We're trying to make it, and Jay's going to go into ways that you can stream at home, because everybody wants to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Why not? If nobody can hear you at the moment, you might as well do it at home. But Jay's going to try to explain to you a way of doing it where it looks a little bit more professional and you get more views and less chance of it dropping out and stuff like that. So if you want to take off from there, Jay.
No, I'll cover all that. When I do the thing a bit later down about tips on streaming and stuff.
Oh, okay then, yeah.
I'll cover it in that if that's all right. You carry on because
Right.
because the next thing down the list after that, if you're happy with that, was what do Free2Dance want to do in the future, and when is FTD going to do a public event? So, and that was something that we talked about on Sunday in the debrief.
Yeah, we were talking. I was saying, do we want to try and book somewhere? And we had a proper deep discussion about this. And let's be honest, we could easily end up booking somewhere on the chance it might be open and have to cancel again and then book again and cancel again, and it all costs money, and it's not fair on you guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to wait until we've got some concrete news about when clubs will be opening again, and when we know something like for sure, and then we will book something for you guys, and we'll put on a big night for you. Obviously, we've got one lined up. We might even be able to improve on that, not charge you any more money. There's all sorts of ideas going on, but we won't be doing any live events until we've got some. We won't be booking any venues until we know for sure that we're going to be able to go through with it, because it's just not fair on you guys getting you all excited. In the meantime, we're going to carry on doing these nights every couple of weeks. We've got 2 more lined up. We're not going to give you the lineup for the second one yet, because obviously we'll get the first one out of the way. That's been put on Facebook tonight.
Yeah. So we've launched the one for the 13th, which is in a week and a couple of days' time. So a week on Saturday, the 13th. That's been launched now onto Facebook. I know Steve wanted me to do some tech wizardry and put the flyer up on the screen and things like that, and I forgot to get the flyer downloaded and create a scene for it in OBS. So, but do you want to rattle off the DJ names? Because Michaela, of course, has mentioned, we also have an event to mention soon.
Yeah, let's
oh yes,
get
Michaela's
to Michaela.
birthday on the 13th.
It's Michaela's birthday. The last one would have been my birthday. And I always like to make sure that people know it's my birthday. And it's only fair that we let know it's Michaela's birthday. So the event basically will be Michaela's birthday. We have got the legendary Daz Willett on from Shelley's Laser Dome and Entropy. I've not seen or played on a lineup with Daz Willett since about 1996 or 97, where we played at the After Dark, the legendary Orbit club in Leeds. So it'd be really good to see him play live, and he's always brilliant. So yeah, we've got him, we've got Kip C, we've got Jay Roberts, we've got myself, and we've got a special guest that we haven't. We're not going to tell you just yet, because we're still kind of like.
It's one of 2, isn't it? Because we're waiting for one of two people to confirm. It's whoever confirms first. And
yeah,
we're not gonna embarrass either of them by giving names out, and then one of them doesn't play. It's like but at the end of the day, the country's starting to try and get back to a little bit of normality, and that's going to mean that people aren't going to be quite as free on a weekend. They're going to maybe want to do some family socialising and things like that. So yeah, we'll wait until we'll have confirmation. What, in the next couple of days, do you reckon, Steve?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
But for now, it's just on guess. So yeah, Daz Willett. You all know Daz Willett. Let's be honest. If you don't, get onto his Facebook page and have a look on YouTube and have a look. Kipsy, fantastic DJ. Really played for us once or twice. Very good friend of ours. Can't wait to hear what he's got in line. When he played at Indian Summit, he absolutely smashed it, and we loved it.
Oh God, yeah.
So, and obviously, you know, Jay, what are you going to do for us this time? Are you going to tell us? Or are you going to keep that secret again?
That sounds like the throwing to me for the cake joke that we did. And what are you going to do for us this time, Jay? Well, I thought since it was lovely and summery, I'd make us a nice, light sponge, Victoria sponge cake. For this, I'm going to need 4 eggs, some caster sugar, a little butter, some salt, some baking powder. Did anybody fact check my recipe, by the way? Because I did look it up on that. Who saw Saturday? Who saw the beginning? And who spotted all the visual gags that were packed into the beginning and through and sort of slightly peppered through, and also the background shots in my set? Who saw them?
Yeah, get onto the chat,
What I
guys.
want you to do, if you saw them, post them in the comments, right, whilst we do the next bit, and we'll come back to them at the end. I'm going to mark where we are. I'm just going to give a quick mention to something that came up in the chat room. So, Super McSmiley, Mr. Allen, says outdoor festival on private land. If you've got to literally try and social distance each other 2 meters, personally, I don't think it's worth doing. People aren't going to social distance, and the cops are going to come and they're going to try and shut us down. The private land rules are going to be tricky and uninterpreted, and you'd have to battle it after the fact on this. It's like it might not be foul of the law, but the law just shut you down under a Section 5 Public Order Offence Act, and then you just sue the law later. But your brand's gone, your event's gone, everybody's pissed off at you. It's just, I don't think it's worth doing. What do you think? Do you think it's worth even trying that, Steve?
I think we're open to suggestions, and we will look at the legalities of it. Last thing we want is to scupper the brand name or upset any DJs or any people that pay to come to an event, and then it doesn't go on because we get shut down. We don't want to break any laws as such. We're not in '88 now, and it won't be as easy to get away with stuff. We really want to not rock the boat too much, but if we can get something around something legally, but how can we when you've got to be 2 meters away? I've seen people do it in Germany. It doesn't look fantastic, but
no. And I'll also just add in here the absolute astronomical, fucking huge cost of running an outdoor gig. Right.
That's the other thing. You've got to pay for all this, and you've got to pay for your DJs, and then you won't be able to have as many people there because they have to stay away from each other. And let's face it, I'm going to be honest with you all here. If they open pubs and they say to us, right, you can go to pubs, but you've got to stay 2 meters away, that'll be fine for the first 10 minutes until you've had a pint. As soon as you've had that pint down, you need your second pint.
I'm going to say that as soon as some jumped up Hitler, right, gets in me face about not going and talking to people and staying 2 meters away, first, you're not going to be able to talk to anybody because everybody's going to be shouting across this 2 meter gap for a start, which is just going to be no fun. So, no, I'm not bothering. I personally can't wait for restaurants to reopen because I miss going out for something to eat. I've actually lost over a stone due to this lockdown.
I've gained over a stone.
Yeah, so I'm not quite DJ Fat Boy anymore.
I'm 5 inches to be fair. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I've almost got a man bun going on here at the back, which is why the flat cap, by the way, for everybody, is because I'm ridiculously thin on top here and have been for about 10 years. And Steve went, "You want a flat cap?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually." And I thought it looked all right, actually, that. My brother said to me something about like the whippets. Oh, no, that's it. DJ Delboy, you wanted to call me. And he shaved all his head off. And I said, "You could try that, Baldrick, couldn't you?"
I think we should get everyone to vote on whether we should shave Jay's head or not. What do you think, guys? Get in the chat room, and if you all vote that we'll shave it, we'll shave it off for you. Live on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So, Helen Kerfoot's joined us on the thing. She says, "Hello,
Evening,
everyone.
Helen.
Hello, everyone." Helen says she has a big garden. Well, when we can have gatherings of like 100 or more, then we'll come round to your garden. But again, it's the cost of doing it, because as I keep telling to Steve when he gets these ridiculously brilliant wild ideas about what we can do, and I love list and we love like talking about it, don't we? And I
I'm a
always say
dreamer.
to you, yeah, oh no, there's nothing wrong with dreaming, because I'm one of those people that says, you know, if you're going to do a job, overdo the job, and I've always been like that. You know, I'm nicknamed Overkill at one point, and Alan Jones, a 25-year mate of mine, is in the chat, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about, because he nipped round for a brew this morning. We ended up fixing one of my CDJs that's been sticky, and talking about putting yet more cabling in for us doing these live streams.
Obviously, it was in your garden.
I haven't got a garden. I haven't got a garden. I had this thing in January, and he's had a mild version of it. So we've both got we've both got immunity, at least to the current strain of it, like you have before it mutates again. I'm not saying it won't mutate, and I'm not a medical expert. It's just, you know, when you know you've been in close contact with somebody by accident, and then they come out with it full blown 5 days later, and you didn't exactly not scratch your nose before you washed your hands. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of immunity in there. So yeah, it's the point I was trying to make actually is, as I keep telling Steve, there's a team of 3 usually turns up to build an F2D event. Sometimes it's only 2. It's really the job of about 6 to 7. So you start adding in video walls and all the rest of the stuff like we did back in November. It's just the extra hours it takes to build it. I'm the one always running around at 8 o'clock that hasn't eaten, when, you know, because Steve has this obsession of wanting to open the doors at, like, you know, 6 o'clock at night kind of thing. And I love him for it, because I do think it's I think it's a good thing, but he just stresses me out on the day. That's all it is. If I didn't have the setup to do, I'd be quite happy with it. But, you know, it's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, as they say. So there's some questions and comments starting to shave it off like me, says Jay. Now, I did that a couple of years ago. I have this egg shaped face. I don't have like the hard man's face for for doing the head shave thing. It just doesn't look right on me. I tried it. What is it? I'll do the hobos as well. As well, Del. Says my brother. Shave it, says Michaela. Rob Day says yes, shave. Oh right, so we're having a vote, are we? Can we do yours too, Steve? Says Alan Jones. He wants to shave your hair off.
Listen, I've got a small head and quite broad shoulders. I look like a pea on a brick. So I haven't had a skinhead since I was 18.
I've got a
So
lot of comments coming here in the chat, Steve, saying I should shave my hair
I
off.
think,
I'm
I
not going
think
to do it. I've been there, done it,
sorry.
tried it. No thanks, not again. 18 hours. So Alan Jones has brought up a good point actually here in the chat. He says, I'm going to get told off actually for calling him Alan. It's not A, it's not Sunday, and B, I think that's like the most times I've ever called him by his first name in all the 25 years I've known him. He's just known as Jones or Mr. Jones. And he's saying 18 hours plus for the events. Yeah, I know. I have the wage bill to pay for it.
That's something else that, you know, we want you to understand that we quite willingly put on free events, but unfortunately, you know, they're not free to us.
No.
So we never. That's one thing we wanted to. It's not about money for us. It's about giving back. You know, because we've been involved in this thing for 30 years, and we love you all to death, and we love giving you a good party, and that's what we're all about. That's what F2D is all about. But things aren't free, are they, James?
Unfortunately not. And they say the best things in life are free. Unfortunately, power, venues, staff costs, van transport, repairs to CDJs, DJs themselves, tickets, flyers, and a whole list of things I could scroll up the screen right now.
Yes.
Aren't. See, simple business economics, whilst we might all be hippies and want to be like, do for free, man, unfortunately those people are businesses, and they've got things like, you know, like rent and rates to pay. So shall we move on?
Move on.
All right. So two things, and then we'll take some questions from people. So if you've got any questions, start put them into the chat room, and then we'll sort of go from there. I've marked where we are now. So Yeah, I know I've got that, Michaela. That James Watson asked about that. Yeah, I'm going to cover that in a sec. Right, so tips for live streaming. So I am very, very, very well known for lambasting, or shall no, nay, slagging off um, poor quality live streams. I want to be clear. It's not the live streams that I have an issue with that anybody's doing. DJs, promote yourselves. It's the only way you get work. I wouldn't have come to Steve's attention, but for doing a sound system, because a certain friend of ours basically tried to act like it was all his equipment, didn't he?
Oh.
I was hidden. I was to be hidden in the background as the lowly sound and
Look,
lighting
to
tech.
be fair, James, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have met and we wouldn't be
No,
where we are now.
no, and if he's watching, if Dave's watching, I'm just taking the mick, mate. And
Yeah,
he's
we
another
love you. We
he's
love you.
another 25-year long, mate. We want you to play, Dave. If you are watching, get your bloody kit sorted out. No, you can't come down here and do it. Get your shit sorted at home, like everybody else is having to do, right? If you want to play, we want you to play, but you're gonna have to connect remotely because it's just a whole pile of hassle any other way at the moment that we just don't want. Right. So yeah, I'm kind of well known on Facebook. If anybody has me as their as a personal friend, not just my DJ page, I am very well known for slating crap quality live streams. There's nothing wrong with promoting yourself as a DJ, but can I just say, and I say it with all empathy and all respect to your talents as DJs, take some pride in your work in terms of what you produce. Because if you've noticed that little really, what do you call it? Oh, disheartening, I think is the right word, number up in the top left hand corner. It tells you how many viewers you've got. A lot of that is down to four things, right? And I'm going to tell you what you need to be doing. I go in my Facebook feed every morning. This is my phone. I go in and like scroll. Oh, well, sorry. Yeah, it was bad at the beginning. It's not quite so bad now. Maybe I've just filtered a lot of people. I don't know, but it's like, cat meme, some banter group asking me to post a selfie again, DJ live stream, tap, old school piano tune. All right, I've heard that one a million times before. Next one, oh, another DJ live stream, same old school piano tune. Next one, same old school piano tune. But all of them have one thing in common, which is why I immediately switch off. The audio's terrible. It's unlistenable. It's all in 90% of these streams that seem to come to my attention. It's sound exactly. It's the fact that they've got the phone propped up and they're using the mic on the phone to basically get the audio. Now a lot of people go, oh yeah, well you don't get cut off that way. I've seen streams taken down for it. Yeah. Which is why I kind of am on the fence about the pitching and key thing. I've definitely seen streams get taken down that have been camera phone audio, right? Kind of level, or they've set speakers up in the studio room that they're using and playing it and then capturing it on a microphone. It costs
I can jump in there and tell you categorically. You know what I'm saying?
categorically.
Yes, I a couple of times I've just posted records when I've had records delivered, or I pulled them out my box, and I took a picture of my video on my phone of that record playing on the thing, and I put it on Facebook, and within 5 minutes they've muted me because it's Warner or it's Sony or whatever. It doesn't matter how good the quality is, the algorithms will still pick it up.
I don't know whether this is a badly. Somebody says, "You know your shit, mate." Again, Facebook users obviously it hasn't carried the username over onto me. Whoever wrote that, do us a favor, just put your name at the end of it so I can say hello to you. But it's just 30 years of experience in different industries, and I'm a geek. I don't break the bank on the looks scale, so girls don't like me that much. So I spend a lot of time reading shit and playing records, and I have a face for radio and all the rest of the jokes, as you can see behind me, like my radio studio I'm sat in. Ignore the bad cabling underneath the desk. So anyway, Michaela says that's not fair. Yeah, I'm just getting the digs in before the trolls come along. Yeah, audio
Always
is.
gonna be, there's always going to be one, mate. There's always going to be one.
Of course there is. I'm just getting him in there. It's like Eminem, didn't he? He went up on 8 Mile and he basically dissed himself completely, so the other guy'd have nothing to say about him. It's kind of what I do, self-deprecating humour. Audio quality is probably your key, right, with any live stream, right? Camera position is the next thing. The last thing, and the reason I'm giving you this is because I have, although I don't do the A&R and booking for Free2Dance, I have some sway with it, obviously. I'm one of those influential people with this organisation and with a number of others as well. And if I look at you and basically all I can see is a side-on shot of your tummy, right? And, the side-on beer gut shot kind of thing. Or your phone's propped up and I can see up your nostrils. That's not really interesting to, I'm going to put in quotes, watch. What we want, and DJing is more about the audio side. There's like 3 or 4 different camera angles that I'm not a particular fan of, and Steve agrees with this. There's the side-on shot where you can just see the hands. There's the up nostril shot, and where they come over and stare at the phone stare into the phone sort of thing. And I realise not a lot of people have got a lot of equipment. Just get a tripod. All the stuff I'm going to say here costs pennies, by comparison to a lot of other gear to get. An audio cable to hook your phone if you have no laptop is what I think it's a total investment of about 15 to 20 quid once to get the cable and the little thing that steps the level down to. It's called a Rode NT4 or something like that. I know I have one because I first started that way. Camera position, get a little tripod, prop it up on the tripod. You can it's basically a selfie mount for a camera and a little, because it'll have the same thread like a camera mount. Screw that in the bottom, stand it on the desk. But give us a wide shot of you DJing if you possibly can. We realise a lot of people have got the stuff up against walls and things like that. Just get us a shot that gets you, the person, in and the decks, because we see you having fun and that's what becomes relatable to it. So again, it's not about you actually streaming and doing sets, and I've seen some incredible talent, but I don't, for some reason, I just don't, it doesn't come across as personable to me in that way. The next one is, don't clutter your set, as in the picture. There's a lot of people who seem to have a lot of like clutter around the decks and things like that. And I think people add things to try and make it look interesting and stuff like that.
It's like when women do selfies of themselves, they look beautiful, and you look behind them and there's the room's trashed. It just doesn't come across.
I've got to say, I always do that. I don't look at the person in the selfie, I zoom in and look at the crap in the background of the person and go, I can tell what your house is like. And I know that's probably really cruel, but it's kind of like, I have a story, right, which I'll come to in a second. Just remind me about the clutter shot thing. Yeah, so what I'm talking about is, if you're going to be on camera, it's a visual medium. Try not to have just like a pile of cables all over the place. A lot. If anybody who, remember, Facebook reaches loads and loads of people, and your stream, you may only have maybe 7, 8 consistent, concurrent people. What you're going to look at is the number of times that goes up and down, and every time it comes down and goes back up again, that's a new person. So look at it as the whole sum of how many people saw it, and you could easily have had a couple of hundred people. Now it doesn't take much for your consistent couple of hundred people who see the stream overall to get to the attention of actual A&R people at either labels or agencies. If you don't look like you're having fun doing that set, if you don't sound, if they can't hear the audio, they're probably just gonna go, well, I can't package this person in this way. They're not going to contact you. Is the thing. If you're doing production of your own, like Danny Whittle puts videos on Facebook of him playing keyboards and doing, wow, blew me away. And believe me, right, I'm so glad to have worked with you, and Steve to have introduced us properly. And we spent 2 hours talking on the phone that time when I was setting you up for the gig. And we just got to know each other. And I can't wait to come and have a beer with you when this is all over. Honestly, it's just like, it's a pleasure to know you. But anything like that, it's stunning to watch, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. Just the same old shot gets boring after a while. We understand that, we haven't got money. We're all stuck at home. Some of us aren't working. So if you have to just have your phone, plug it in, try and get a better angle, like you said, not like Jay said, not just your hands, not just your beer belly, and if possible, more smart TVs, you can make your camera, you can mirror your camera to your TV, so
Yeah,
you'll be able to see the comments on your TV and use the right side of your phone, so it's not a backward shot.
yeah.
Also, the camera itself, when you've got your phone the wrong way around for the selfie, it refocuses a lot, and it's in and out, and it's not a very good picture. If you turn your camera around
Yeah,
and use the proper camera, it's a much better picture. So
and I
again,
was exactly what I was going to mention. The backward shot. What you got to remember is when you use the FaceTime, the front facing camera on your phone, everything is reversed in that picture. And I know that if you haven't got a lot of gear, you haven't got like loads of laptops and computers and things like that around you, then I know it's the quickest route to being online. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like Steve says, use the camera on the back and mirror the picture to like a smart TV or something, or grab your girlfriend's phone or one of the kids' iPads or something like that. If you can have a crowbar the damn device out of their hands, believe me, I know that from my former stepkids. Literally glued to their hand kind of thing. Even in the shower. But they it looks so much better because everything's backwards. Like the turntables look the wrong way around, and to you, it probably looks the correct way round on the photo. But to everybody, it's like I know that the picture that you're seeing is actually reversed for this room, and I haven't bothered to flip it, and I should have done. My T-shirt says "Procrastinators Unite Tomorrow." I think actually it's the right way around. No, it's definitely it's backwards. So anyway, but that's Zoom for you because it's letting us try and see. Yeah, it's letting me put my right hand up, and it's actually technically on the. Yeah, anyway, yeah. But so the backward shot, and then the other one, and this is what I just do not understand. The back of the head shot, right? If you're going to string up a webcam up in the corner up here, right? Why put it facing the back of your head? That's not how you're seen in a club, unless it's one of the clubs I DJ'd at very first, where you kind of played to a wall, because the club owner thought that mixing was kind of like this newfangled idea they didn't want anything to do with, and he was still stuck in the 70s with the guy.
and it was vinyl.
And it was vinyl as well. So the reason it was actually up against the wall was to suspend the decks off the wall so that they didn't jump when people jumped around all over a wooden floor. But yeah, I don't get the back of the head shot at all. It's
Some people are shy, remember?
I understand that, but if you're in a club, and me and you said this on Sunday, if you're in a club, you're kind of like made to be the centre of attention, because if you go back to the 24-hour Party People movie, it's not the music, it's the medium, the DJ, that's getting all the respect here. And all right, I don't like big massive floodlights in my face when I'm DJing, because I have hard enough job seeing normally, right? And so I like to kind of go. I like the to be turned down. All the gigs I've done for Free2Dance, we've lit the DJ up because I think that they should be seen in the club, and also it means that you can actually see what the hell you're doing in the booth when you're looking for vinyl and stuff like that. So it's I don't kind of really get, if you're going to go to the trouble of buying an extension cable for USB, of putting the camera over your other shoulder and behind your head, whereas if you're going to DJ in a club, you're actually going to be visible to the public and everybody can see your face. It's
we understand that you can't, if your decks are against your wall, which
yeah,
most
doing the
people would
side-on
do.
shot, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Side on shot. Or the other option, do what some people have done: go put them in your kitchen for one day. Put
Yeah,
them in
or
your kitchen for one day.
look
If you've
at
just
look at
got a
Matt
controller,
Turner's setup. Matt Turner's setup, right, is the most simple but effective setup, and there's Pete Orman, he basically copied the exact same setup. And this is what kind of we're that we're sort of looking for. We want the audience to see the DJ, and I'm not the most camera confident person, but I kind of fake it till I make it. And if anybody who watched right to the very, very end, Joke, on Saturday night's stream, will have seen me grope the country's bottom on the graphic. Because Steve had decided that he was having a migraine or something. He just said, "Look, I just can't do the last link. Can you do it for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah. You would be surprised." So sorry, I've got a message that's coming. You would be surprised how many DJs are shy, believe it or not. Oh yeah, totally. and I believe the Facebook user person is I think it's Danny D. I think so. He doesn't actually. He just still says Facebook user. Uh, yeah, I get it. I completely get it. Honestly, I do. Kip C's saying the thing. We were playing the garden for mine on the 13th. Some vibe. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool, Ian. Yeah, and obviously we'll sort your test out real soon to get you set up. Don't forget you're going to need an Ethernet cable to go from your laptop back into the SD router.
That's what I
Don't.
was going to mention, Jay.
Yeah,
Can you bring that
I've
up,
got
please?
one more thing to mention about the about this, and this is a big no-no, right? Right, club. We know the club scene. Everybody, let's talk about it. Right, let me do this. Let me get up close and personal. Right, so we all know that the club scene, right, involves a lot of drug use. Yeah. Don't snort a line of coke on your decks on a live stream or skin up a joint. Right. You go do that in another room or off camera. Find a little off camera area. It looks bad. It also means, and I'll say this from an A&R point of view because somebody I know in the industry said this to me, and I won't name them. And he said straight away, if they see somebody doing that on a live stream, no matter how good they are, that's an automatic no booking, because they know that if they're doing that in their own home, they are more than likely to do that at a club, and the last thing they want is the knowledge of it. It's like, well, it was right there on the stream that he did that you picked him up off, so you had knowledge of. Anyway, I'm not getting into the legalities of it, but an A&R guy for a label said no, wouldn't book, no matter what, right? Because they'd seen him do, and I have actually seen a DJ snort 2 lines of coke off the side of his decks, right, or off some. It was the plastic covers on his decks because he was using a controller. It looks really bad. Thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, no. Listen, this is not us judging anybody. I've been in this scene for 30 years.
Not. Drugs aren't my thing, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying to you, it's not socially acceptable yet. When they legalise it all, go for it, do it, right? But
I've been in the scene for 30 years, and I've seen it all. And I'm not going to lie, I've done it all, right? But I would never, whether I did it now or whether I didn't do it now, I would never do it where anyone could. If I was into it, I'm not saying I'm not. I would never do it in front of an audience, especially on television, because somebody somewhere is going to see that. And like James just said, I worked in the security industry for 10 years. And I had to throw my mates out of a place because I saw them doing something. And they said to me, Steve, you're my friend, why are you doing this? You've done it yourself at some point. Yes, but it's my job, it's my career, and also I can get fined. If somebody sees that I've seen it and I don't do anything about it, I get fined. I get in trouble. So that's that's from our point of view and a club point of view. You're not going to get a booking because they're going to think, well, he's going to do it in the club. I mean, some club owners do it themselves, but you've got to remember there's licensing laws here.
Yeah, so. and again, and exactly what Steve said, just don't do it. Just don't do it in public. I mean, it's like there's a different social thing, right? You turn up at the club, you go into the back room, right? I've walked into the green room, and there's people doing a line or rolling a spliff or whatever, right? Doesn't bother me. I have no interest in it. People try to offer me stuff. I go, no, it's all right, mate. I've got a beer, and that's food is actually my vice, right? I can't wait for McDonald's to open. I am Uber eating that straight away. I have missed Big Macs, right? I'm not going to binge on it, but I really just want. I'm sick of like the kebab shop burgers. They're getting boring. Although we did find the best burger joint in Blackburn. Anyway, totally different story. So we weren't going to get off piste. Anybody wants to ask me about that some other time, message me on my own profile, or we'll start a group chat or something like that. So yeah, just don't do that sort of thing in public. And somebody's wrote, "Can you have me bud?" Look, if you've already rolled it off camera, yeah, smoking's kind of socially acceptable still, just about, I guess. Yeah, have your split, but don't. What I'm saying is, don't like make don't do the whole sort of drug paraphernalia bit that the police go on about, and I'm not preaching here to anybody, believe me. It's all I'm saying is it just doesn't look good on the actual stream when people see you do it, does it? It's
some people might be amused by it, but it's the ones that aren't.
Oh god, yeah, your mates are going to be amused, but don't forget that you're trying to attract. I'm gonna say something really bad right now. You are trying to attract people to get to know you as a DJ to either follow you or to book you. Yeah. Um, those people might not have the same views of you, and if you want to grow your followership, you've got to kind of think that if you did get a deal, there'll be some PR company telling you what to do, and you'll like it and take the check, or you'll be not famous and not take the check, and a whole bunch of other things that go with that. Yeah, so that's kind of all we're saying on. That's what we're sort of saying on that subject. And that's my tips for a great live stream. Just get the audio right, get a decent camera angle so that people can see you having fun. And Helen's written, but James, we like your little shimmy in your face whilst doing it. You look like you're having a lot of fun. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I do. And I jump about, and I forget the camera's on me, and I jump about, and I'm like hands in the air and giving it the lean back like I'm
Can
in
I
a
just
club.
jump in, James?
Yeah, of
Can I
course
just
you
jump
can.
in?
Please.
There's a reason why I don't jump around when I'm DJing at the moment. I don't know how many people that don't know me do. I am waiting for an operation. I do have a hernia problem, and I am quite not as bouncy as I normally am. But trust me, like James, I like to enjoy myself when I'm DJing. So if I look like I'm concentrating a bit too much, I'm concentrating on not falling over in pain. That's all. You missed something, James. Don't forget to remind people when you are streaming, don't use your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Use plug it in
If you're using
if
your phone,
possible.
yes, if possible. If possible, certainly, and this is an absolute deal breaker if you're going to stream for us, you need to be connected to your Ethernet connection, hardwire back to your router, because we ask you to give us the highest quality stream possible, whereas Facebook will give you, it will, Facebook will basically have some compression going on and other things. So you might just about get away with it off your phone, but you won't get away with it off a laptop very easily. And the worst thing is audio dropout and video dropout. The ears will cope with audio quality changes. Almost, but the eyes will cope with a bit of video stuttering or like that kind of thing, where your hand sort of moves staccato or your body moves staccato. But it's audio that your ears take the most offence at, whether for any reason whatsoever. So audio quality is the key, and all the streaming protocols that are used to get these things on the net will give up video for audio all the time, every time. But if your device cannot send data to your router quick enough, it all collapses. The whole thing just spirals downhill, and so it's kind of like, even though you might have, say, like an 80 meg connection at home off whichever provider, and you've got to remember you're sharing that with other people. It's not uncontended. There's no way they could. I used to work. I still work in the IT industry and infrastructure. They couldn't give every household 300 meg or 100 meg, but they can sell you a service that, with a lot of clever technology in between your house and them, they can make it seem like you have, but you don't get it permanently. So it's up and down more times than a roller coaster with a whole bunch of camelback hills.
And last thing as well, OBS. Just mention OBS because they can have that for free, can't they? If they've got a laptop.
Yeah, so if you've got a laptop, so this isn't to come in streaming tips. This more comes in setup, I suppose, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
if you've got a laptop, then most of you are going to know about OBS Project or Open Broadcaster software. OBSproject.com. There's a version for Mac, Linux, and Windows. Mac needs at least Mac OS something like 10.13 to work the latest version. You can go and hijack a slightly older version, but to be fair, if your machine won't work on the latest version, it's probably not going to keep up with streaming to YouTube very well. OBS, set up a really simple scene. Don't clutter the screen full of a million logos and things like that. There's no point putting a chat plugin over your stream, because if people are watching it live, they've got the chat underneath it already. Facebook went out and YouTube went out of the way to integrate live chat into both all the live video protocols, so that you could have real-time, proper, rich media conversations with people. YouTube, you can't post graphics and GIFs, but Facebook, you can obviously post Oh no, you can't in the live streams. You can post stickers from your keyboard, but you can't actually like upload photos, I don't think, into the live streams. And to be fair, I'm glad because it just clutters them. You should see the HMR chat room, the Housemasters Radio chat room. It's just full of screen-sized, full screen GIFs going in there. And I think it's great that people are reacting and posting all that, but it's really hard to actually follow the chat in there and find what people have said. So yeah, I thought, yeah. Bud, oh, of course. Oh, yeah, drink. Sorry, let me just go back one about socially acceptable on the stream. So Danny Whittle, who is apparently the Facebook user, says Danny Whittle, and I meant Budweiser. A beer? Yeah, but
Cool,
don't
no problem.
a beer. Yeah,
You can
of
have a
course.
Corona. I drink plenty.
I've been drinking Corona all the way through this thing. I'm not scared of it. Bloody Corona beer. The only thing I couldn't get was limes the other week. It was like, how am I supposed to have me coronavirus and lime? And that wasn't a dig at you, Steve. That was just in general.
I
Limes
will
just weren't
say
available.
one thing though. I will say one thing. Have a drink, enjoy yourself, enjoy your stream.
Don't get drunk.
Don't get completely pissed because trust me, I've DJed for 30 years and I know for a fact that when I've been pissed, it sounded great at the time, but when I've played it back, when I've got home, I've got the tape. This is live in a club, by the way. I've listened to it and thought, oh my God, what did I do? So yeah, don't get too drunk.
Exactly. Yeah, and believe me, beer used to be my downfall a lot of years ago. As a mate of mine, Diddy Dave, will tell you. I used to be me and him used to be beer monsters. We would regularly go out on a Friday and we'd be working, and we'd sink a crate of beer between us before we go on the decks. And I've got tapes from back then, and they sound all right. But I'll tell you what, it was hard keeping it together. It really was hard keeping it together. Try to consistently mix, and there's professionals from the industry that have given up and gone teetotal, both, and they don't even take any kind of painkillers, like paracetamol now, because they were drug addicted, they were alcohol addicted, major substance abuse is rife in a lot of high pressure industries. Catering, substance abuse through the roof, DJing and through the roof. In the theatre industry, especially like shows, like Vegas type shows, it's slimming product abuse and things like that. So, but yeah, just moderation is what I'm trying to say.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh God, yeah. The main thing is enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the music, enjoy what you're doing, stream it, be productive. Capture your stream as well. So if you are using Open Broadcaster, hit start record before you go live, and then you've got a really good quality copy at your end. Record that copy and put that back up on YouTube or Twitch or somewhere else other than Facebook Live, and grow yourself an audience that way. You can re-upload it to Facebook, but I can't tell you how to market yourself better than I can. It's taken me 11 years to get 408 followers on my Facebook page, which is why I've shilled both mine and Steve's actual DJ pages at the bottom of the thing, because I'm terrible at not promoting myself. I'll promote absolutely everybody else, the brand, my 3 companies, everything, but just not me. I'm terrible for it. So if you feel so inclined, please go and smash the like button on both our DJ pages. They're at the bottom of the screen. I've got DJ Fingers and Jay Roberts at the bottom of the screen.
But quickly before we go, we mentioned
because
before
we've got one more thing, which is the DJ and then the Q&A bit. Go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that one of the reasons why what we discussed on Saturday night was, sometimes we're going to be live streaming. My set, I think a couple of weeks ago, didn't get took down at all. Blah 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 blah. But it's not just about that stream. Remember that when you put something on YouTube or it stays on Facebook, it's gonna stay there. If it comes down, you can put it back up. So if we get muted, like you said before, it's gone back up fully now. That's going to still get commented out. It's still going to be out there. It's still going to get shared. Yeah. So it's going to go from whatever views it's had already. It might treble or it might quadruple. It might go up by thousands. So remember that, whatever you're doing, it's not just about that 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 500 people, whatever that was watching that night. You're going to keep pushing that out there. So it might get taken down, but when you put it back up, it's going to get views.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the more you can actually put good quality content out there, the better it is for you. I watch a lot of people's streams retrospectively. I don't have time to watch them live because Facebook's not really a good medium to watch something live. You've got to have the time to give to it at that moment. And half the time when I see the streams come into my feed, I don't have that kind of time to watch. So I'll bookmark, I'll say save for later, and I'll go back and watch it. Now, I can't comment in real time after that, unfortunately, but I usually always make some kind of comment at the end and say, didn't watch it live, but great set or something like that. Because your phone is kind of one of those devices that do I really want to just stay staring at this one video? No, I actually want to see what else. And Facebook kind of gives tools, and Facebook is the big offender here, and YouTube's terrible for it as well. You close YouTube to it's 2020, you shut YouTube to go to another app, and that's it, just filters out. But Facebook give you sort of tools to kind of minimize the window, but the second you click on any number of random things that shouldn't kill that video off, it kills that video off. So like you go to, notification, tap, ping, gone. It slides that panel out the way because you've changed tabs. And then you try to go and find that video again, and it's now impossible. And that is part of why the random, unscheduled live streams that people put up don't get a lot of interest. You'll find the ones that have a high viewership are where they've said, I'm going to go live at such and such a time tonight. I'm going to do this on such and such a date. Looking at what we've done, we've had a consistent number of viewers the whole way through this. I can see we've at current got around about 25 people watching. It went as high as something like 40 or something. I can tell you that there's 6 people watching on my own personal profile. There's 3 watching on the Free2Dance group, 11 on YouTube, 3 on the Jay Roberts page, and 2 on the Free2Dance actual page at the moment. So, we didn't expect like 4,000 people to be watching this. When you do watch a stream on FB itself is a huge distraction. That's absolutely right, Danny. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Facebook itself is the distraction. And I know, I don't know for certain, nobody's shown me the code, but I have a fairly good idea how the algorithm for Facebook works. I'm not going to go into it on this stream, right? I'll do the whole YouTuber thing and say, watch one of my future videos for that, ding, kind of thing, to force you to come back again. But yeah, I have a pretty good idea about how Facebook's algorithm works and why people like myself and a lot of other people don't get any traction. And it's all to do with how your first ever live stream went that you ever did. And also what other people... By the way, one thing I will say to you is that your friends are your worst promoters, right? Because they're the worst ones to try and get to follow your page. They're the worst ones to get to turn up at a gig, but they're always the ones that say they want to support you. And so a lot of the time, your own personal friends, your little tiny circle around you, like 6-10 people at the most, right, are the ones that are the hardest to get to actually buy into you. They will never share your live stream to anybody. They'll watch it, they'll like it, but they'll never share it. They won't share your page. They won't. Yeah, it's a big annoyance, So that's about the live streaming stuff. And I'm going to do another thing on actually how to set your thing up and how the algorithm works. I'm going to do another one of these, and hopefully I'll have another guest too to bounce off with it. There's one other topic we want to cover, isn't there, Steve?
Oh, what's that?
Yeah. Oh, what's that, Steve? And no, it's not about making a Victoria sandwich cake. By the way, the bunny in the background, no bunnies were harmed, either soft toy or real bunnies, in the making of any of the gags in our videos.
It's my daughter's bunny. It was never going to get harmed.
It was very cuddly as well. I had to have a little cuddle with the bunny, just to see if it was as soft as it looked, and it was, and cute as well. There were a number of background gags because the first time when Steve did, by the way, there's a series coming, which I'm going to be launching called Jay's Kitchen. No, it's not a food thing. It's literally, decks in the kitchen. I'm going to actually put some midweek mixes up on the alternate weeks, and hopefully when the coronavirus thing goes away and we can actually have people around, I'm going to invite people to come around my house and film here, and actually, put them up and promote them. We'll put them on Free2Dance's channel, but we'll give them a copy to put on their own channel. It'll be professionally produced, so we're talking proper cameras, proper production, all the decent, really good audio quality, and you'll have a master to work with. And we'd love to, and we want to make it serious, so it's kind of like you're giving us something, we're giving you something. But the thing I wanted to talk about actually was, and that links to it now, so you can tell the radio presenter in me, because I've managed to just segue very smoothly to, hang on, We want you. Where's that joke? Where's the meme? The Kaiser Bill thing. The we want you for the US Army thing.
Yeah,
We are interested in hearing from other DJs, aren't we?
always. Um,
We Go
I,
on. You can do this bit. You're the
well,
A&R guy. You shill for the
I,
DJs.
I was just going to say we've always been interested in up and coming DJs or DJs, any DJ. Don't matter. I've played with some of the biggest names, in the old school scene over the years, and I've played with some people that are hardly known, and it's irrelevant to how good they are. So don't be shy. If you're interested, we're interested. Send us what 15-minute video?
Yeah, so the
Is that what?
format for this that we discussed is a very simple 15, no more really than 15 minutes. I mean, if it's 15, 30, yeah, 16 minutes at the most because you got to switch the decks. The actual mix content, not really more than 15 minutes itself in the video. We don't need your bio at the beginning. You don't need to come to camera and go, "Hi, I'm DJ Double Decks, and I've been DJing for 47 years, and my favourite tune is, and my influence." Don't need to do that, right? We'll get that from you after. What we want, 15 minutes, show off what you can do in 15 minutes, right? It's probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And believe me, I'm kicking myself for not sending a mix into the Defected competition, right? Because everybody knows I'm a major househead, major Defected fan, right? And I'm absolutely killing myself for not sending a mix in. Do you know what it was? I could not figure out how to make the statement. Playing a set that was effectively to defected records, to what they are, and it was hard to define because I play a lot of tool room stuff, I play a lot of defected and so on. Anyway, 15 minutes, no more. Post it to YouTube, but as an unlisted link, right? So make sure it's not private and not public. The other one, unlisted. Copy the shareable link and email it to us. How are they sending it to us? Have we decided on this? I think the best way is to send us the link via email, right? Send the
Yeah,
email to, are you ready? To info, and I should have thought about this and put it on the bottom of the screen. I didn't. Right? Info at F2D. That's Frank Tango Delta dot events. Right? Send it there. Don't message the Facebook page inbox, right? Because I don't think any of us actually look at it. It's another distraction of Facebook. Send it via and Michaela's gone, messages on FB or a message on our FB page. No, send it via email. It's easier to collate, right? And then those actually end up coming to me at the moment. We're going to make sure Steve and Michaela can see them as well.
we'll put the link up in the comments afterwards.
Yeah, in fact,
So
I'll type it in the bottom here. I forgot I'm actually in Restream as well. So send demo mixes to info at F2D. Actually, no, I'll change that because I'll make a completely new mailbox for it. DJ mixes at f2d.events. Hopefully that goes. It's decided. It's done what Restream usually does, which is just put some crap into it. Oh yeah, Restream's decided to do what it does best, which is not let me post a comment. Hang on, shall I quote you, Steve? We're having technical difficulties again.
again.
Mixes 15 mins max YouTube unlisted video to info at f2 DJ mixes at f2d.events. I'm just copying it and I'm hitting return. There it is. It's gone now. Right. Okay. I already have. That's the email. Oh right, sorry, I've changed it. Yeah, DJ mixes at f2d.events. So Michaela's on that as well. I was able to type it in there. Right. So all styles considered, but obviously in keeping with what Free2Dance does. And one of the things that we didn't cover when you were talking about Free2Dance is we're not just an old school brand, and that was one of the things that you brought up, Steve. Do you want to just speak about that just for a sec?
Yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, we I'm an old school DJ. I've been doing it since the beginnings. Warehouse parties, warehouse parties, and then clubs, pubs, and then obviously where we are now, events. But all genres considered, we're not just old school. When we do our old school events, a lot of the DJs play new music related to old school. We love our old school. Don't get me wrong. I love my old school. I like my jungle. I like my break beats. I like a bit of 80s pop. So yeah, if you're a DJ and you're into break beats, your drum and bass, your trance, your techno, your tech house, whatever you want to send us. We'll consider it. We will be doing events in the future that we've done trance, we've done techno. We obviously do a lot of old school nights. So yeah, we're not just about old school. Don't ever think that for 1 minute. We're an events company that will be doing a lot more than just old school in the future. So
Yeah.
just bear that in mind.
And we're going to be looking not so much at the fact that you can beat mix, right, or that you can harmony mix, but we're going to be looking at how you choose tunes, how you actually act, and you as a person behind the decks, because that's kind of like part of the selling of a live event or doing it as a stream. And obviously, we'll look at them. We'll start scheduling. We'll start scheduling the ones into our virtual festivals. Like, we'll give you half an hour each to start with, or we'll do the same format that other people have been doing, because it seems to work, and we're not just ripping other people off. We can think of stuff ourselves, but when you look at somebody's other things that they've done, you go, hey, that makes sense to just do it that way. There's no point reinventing the wheel. So yeah, we'll have you on, and then we might have like a vote for the best of all the newcomers, and then those like 2 or 3 of those people get sets at the live events when we go, or a longer set on the festivals. Is that what you want to do, Steve?
Mate. You can ask a lot of our friends that have played for us in the past that that people that you probably never heard of, and they come and play for us, and we've given them a set, and now these people are doing really well. And we're not saying that's because of us, but we're willing to give people a chance and promote them. And part of this thing is doing streams. It's not just for us; it's for you as well. So when even the bigger names come to us, they're not DJing out at the moment, so we're promoting them, and we're going to keep pushing those streams. We're going to keep pushing those streams. So people who don't normally see those DJs, even if they are big names, we're here to help as well as help ourselves.
Yeah.
It goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Not just about us.
Exactly. It's not just about us, and it's, hang on, in unison. 1, 2, 3. It's not about Michaela.
Not Michaela.
Not all about her anyway. We love you. We love you, Michaela. DJ Fagan said, creating a journey. Yeah, totally. And Michaela's obviously responded to that in the chat, or Greg has. Yeah, 100%. It's about creating music. It's a musical journey.
Speaking of DJ Fagan, if you're still in the chat, mate, don't forget to get us that. You know what I'm talking about. Get it over to us.
Yeah, do it.
And Mr. Fagan will be on one of our streams very soon. Bearing in mind that he's in Australia and the time constraints and stuff, but he will definitely be on one of our streams.
We can work it. I'm sure we can do it. Well, okay, so we've got time for a couple of questions. I know we've gone over the sort of the hour that we said we were going to do. We were a little bit late starting, but it's been great to have everybody sat around. So we'll take some questions between you. So if you want to post them into the comments, we'll take some questions. I've got one from John Roberts already. It says, "What do you think is the attraction of DJs who constantly try to stream on Facebook, which gives terrible sound quality as well as being cut off constantly?" The attraction. The attraction of it is, I think, to those people is that especially with the coronavirus thing, they're giving themselves something to do. A lot of people have been sent home to literally just sit around twiddle thumbs, who would otherwise have a ridiculously hectic life, 10, 12, 14-hour days in some people's cases, going to literally, I mean, even Jeremy Kyle's not on for you to kind of like sit there and throw beer cans at the TV. So, they've taken that away. They've taken the last bastion of knowing whether you were sober or not away from us. I mean, I used to love watching a good fight on Jeremy Kyle, but yeah, the attraction of it. I don't know. Have you got any thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, well, I as a DJ myself, when I was set up, you kind of like, especially when you've got a family and stuff, you kind of like, you don't want to go on your decks all the time. You get bored of going on your decks, playing to yourself as such, and trying to do mixtapes and stuff is something that we had this discussion the other day about Pete Orme. And he said it's just not something that I do. But when you've got a chance to play, when you know people are going to be watching you, it's a different thing then. Well, actually, I might do a set because people might actually watch me. It's like you're playing to an audience rather than just playing to yourself. So, and as well as getting noticed. So, it gives you something, like I said, it gives you something to do, but you're not just playing music to yourself in your bedroom. Might make you try a bit harder because you don't want to, mess about rather than be more serious about it. So yeah, there's a
Yeah,
reason for it.
and the other thing as well is, and Danny Whittle said this, and I do actually do this quite frequently. Even if I can't watch all the entire stream, I'll jump in, I'll say hi, and he said that. So jump in, say hi, and make the day. Yeah, if you see somebody else streaming on Facebook, don't just go, oh, I'm a DJ, I'm not getting the attention, and go and like cry off in your little corner somewhere, right? Don't do that. Jump in, hit the button, open the stream, and go, hi mate, I'm sorry I can't stop for long. I just saw your stream come past. I just wanted to give you a thumbs up. Anything. Just give positive comments, right?
I,
Encouragement.
it,
And I do try to do that. Even the ones where, like I've said, slightly, lower quality streams that I wouldn't watch the entire lot of, I'll at least give the person, a quick thumbs up. I'll either jump in and give them a like or a heart or whatever, and there's a lot of hearts going around these days where most people will be like, not saying a thing. And I think that's a really good thing. Interact. That's it's social, quotes unquote, social media. Say hello.
exactly, and bear in mind that as soon as you jump onto someone's stream, if you our Facebook works, and James will agree with this. If you like something, that like that you've done, some of your friends will see that Steve is like this, Steve is like that, Steve is like this, and then they might think, well, what's he liked, and they'll go and have a look themselves. So that's promotion in itself. So you're doing them, not only making them feel good about themselves, you might enjoy what they do if you listen to it 5 minutes, but you're also promoting them by doing that as well. So that's a good thing as well. About sharing the love, which is what we're all about. One
Yeah,
family.
that exactly. That is exactly Free2Dance's motto: one family, one love, all of us. Do we have any more questions? Everybody's been quite content to sort of listen. We want questions. You did sorry, what did you say there? Michaela says you did a great Tony Wilson voice then, James. That's not fair. That's full penetration. I just got a blowjob. That's not fair. 24-hour party people quote. We know people jump in and out, and they tend to stay if it's a good track. So play other things. Yeah, must respect to any DJ that. So Danny Whittle's saying we know people jump in, and I know I'm not looking at the camera. We know people jump in and out. They tend to stay if it's a good track. So play other things, and that's the thing. That is one of the things I think I should have included my tips for doing a good live stream is be different. Don't just play the standard sort of piano house Italian stuff. If you're passionate about that, that's cool. But is there any other music that you're passionate about? Right? You never know how many people you will get to switch into something. It's like I've been doing a different set type each time, haven't I? What have I done? So I've done hardcore drum, old 91 hardcore breakbeat stuff, which I fucking love playing that stuff. Right? I've done the zone stuff. Yeah, zone. Right. Then we did like an early 90s funky house set. I did. Steve keeps giving me challenges. This Saturday's was sort of themed around Angels a little bit. A lot of the tunes that they used to play, not necessarily in year sequentiality, but definitely sort of the more sort of like eclectic remixes and more uplifting stuff that Angels in Burnley used to play in its years when I used to go there in sort of 93 to 96 when it shut.
And play stuff that nobody else does.
Yeah, and yeah.
I played.
Dig for some obscure. Yeah, dig some obscure stuff. Yeah.
I played it was a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. But to be honest with you, I was thrown on because I wasn't expecting to play at that time. I was expecting to play later, and I've not. Don't do a set. Don't work a set out or anything like that. You don't need to do that. You can if you want. But I just pulled out a lot of like old warehouse tracks, hip house tracks. You just don't hear anymore. And I got a lot of people inboxing me saying, "Oh, Steve, that's good. Why you play that in the club?" Now you see the difference is you're playing in the club, you're playing on a live stream. You don't have to play the big anthems because you're playing to a different audience. They're sat at home. You don't necessarily want to be jumping around with your hands in the air. Don't get me wrong. If you want to play big anthems, play big anthems. If you want to play something different, play something different. You know what I mean? Everyone's different at home.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a comment. I've got a few people who called Facebook users. So hi to Rick Barden, who's joined us. He's a mutual friend of mine and Mark Atkinson's and from Manor and stuff. So let's. I've got another one. It says I don't know if this is Danny or Rick, because again, it just says Facebook user. Sometimes find it hard not to take the only real DJs play vinyl comments to heart at times. Even Carl Cox was getting it the other week, bearing in mind he was actually playing vinyl. Hang on, let's go off the top of the screen. This his crime was not using authentic Stanton 550 carts. You know what I say? Shove it up your ass, right? Basically, about the vinyl versus digital argument, right? I have Technics 1200s, I have 4 CDJs, I have a rack full of vinyl. You will not see me play vinyl in a club ever, right? Or, well, I'm not going to say never, 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 but the 99th percentile, I will never play vinyl in a club for 2 reasons. I can't be arsed dragging it around these days, right? And I haven't bought anything new on vinyl for probably 10, 15 years. Steve still buys the odd one or two. I buy an odd one now and again, but it's mostly obscure stuff that I really like to collect. Screw everybody who keeps going about this argument. It doesn't matter whether you're playing, right? An accordion, vinyl, CDJ, a controller, the fucking spoons, right? Is the crowd dancing? Yes, no. Simple binary answer. Yes, no. Yes. Shut up, right? End of. That really is.
Listen,
there's no filter here on this subject whatsoever.
I still love playing on vinyl, and you'll see me. Most of my sets will be on vinyl. But I will say this.
And just for the record, Steve, wasn't it the other Sunday you had me playing a whole bunch of your vinyls, didn't you?
Yes. And trust me, any of the big DJs that people slag off, I'm not going to bring the names up now. Oh, he's shit. I can tell you one certain DJ now that started on vinyl in Spain back in the day. He's done everything that everybody else has done. He's a massive, world-renowned producer, and he's played to 2 million people on a beach. Do you think he cared whether you slag him off or not? I don't think so.
No, he'll have lost. Do you know how many fucks he will have given over that? Negative numbers, right? That's how many. That's honestly. DJ Fagan says, what is DJ Fagan's first name, by the way? What's his real name? What's at least his first name? I don't like calling people just Fagan. Anyway, DJ Fagan says, wise words, leave the anthems alone and place them properly in your journey. Absolutely, 100%. And a lot of the time I'll play some bangers, but I'll also play some obscure stuff around it. And whenever I've done any of my sets, and it's always like, build, whoa, build. It's like a roller coaster ride. There's no point. There's a lot of DJs who start here at nothing and they'll go all the way up to here, and it's like at the end of the set when they're reaching the peak.
Yeah.
And then the next DJ has a really hard time following them because they'll drop it like a stone. So
or some DJs start at 150 BPM and finish at 150 BPM. Personally, I think what he said before, Danny said, or DJ Fagan said, take people on a journey. You can't go wrong going up and down, because every time you peak, that crowd will peak with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't keep them. There's nobody out there that's going to have one long orgasm all night. It's as simple as that. You can give them several, but you're not going to give them one long one for 4 hours.
There you go, boys. Right, unrealistic expectation. You can't give a woman an orgasm for several hours in one go. You can give them several orgasms in several hours. Right, it's that simple. Right. Fagan has said it's a trade secret, and Michaela's written, if he tells you, he will have to kill you. I see. We're playing that game, are we? Let me introduce you to the stuff under my sink. I'm just kidding. Good setup goes. Carl says a good setup goes up and down and tells you a story. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to at some random point you've built and built and built. It's like and then there's basically hands in the air moment, fist bumping, reach for the lasers, safe as fuck kind of thing. That's what you want. It's
Carl's done that for us several times, and it was always great set.
I remember standing next to Carl waiting to go on, and him literally holding onto the mixer and kind of like doing this sort of thing like that. And I'm like, man, you're stealing my act here. Like Craig David on Bow Selector going, what are you singing your name for? I sing me name to Daniel Bedingfield kind of thing.
There's a brilliant video of JFMC, Jerry and Carl doing a
Yeah.
little session together, and it's fantastic, and I love that.
Oh, tell me about it. Right. Any more questions? Bring back the doves. Nobody will care. Peaking all night. Yeah. Off your face inside the place with all the bass. Any more questions from anybody? Evening, Steve. So Darren Mount says, "Evening, Steve. You're not at work tomorrow."
No,
No.
I've got a week off.
He's having a well-earned week off, and it's going dark where he is because he's.
I'm disappearing into the background.
Yeah. So, they can't afford lighting in his car. Any more? Do we have anything else to tell anybody? Michaela or Greg or any of our moderators? Has anybody got anything that I've missed from the comments from back up there?
Me and TV Light's not working for whatever reason. Hang on. There you go. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, way better. Way better. What's work, says me brother. Johnny Brindle, what's work? Oh, that thing you've been signed off for several weeks. By the way, you need to update your avatar picture because it's still you haven't got to your Baldrick picture on there yet. Jammy Git, says Dasmount. Steve can't actually see the comments at the moment, but because I've got his laptop here for me to actually sort out.
I'll be looking at them tomorrow.
Yeah. Chat after the show personally. Yeah, Fagan says better get to work soon. I'll chat after the show personally. Yeah, love to hear from you, and it's great. Thanks for joining onto the stream for tonight. So
yeah, we can't thank you enough. We didn't know how it was going to go, but we're going to keep doing these. Jay will do some with other people. I'll do some with other people. We'll do some together, different subjects. End of the day, it's all content, and people are interested in getting involved in the chat. And at some point, we'll bring some of you guys in as well.
Yeah, I'll figure out a way that we can hopefully get people to come in and join in on this. We can definitely have a third guest or even a fourth guest involved. That's easy, but it's getting people in on the fly. We might be able to do it sort of in an audio only kind of way. But watch this space. I'm ridiculously tech heavy. I'm going to post a video that of the gallery and the tech setup here at home base at our studio. So of how it all. Blandy's just rocked up apparently. So the one thing, by the way, that I cannot see. See, I'm watching the combined chat in Restream, which is how we get it to so many different endpoints at once. I don't see, like on Facebook where it says so and so is watching, so and so is watching, I don't get to see that bit.
No.
Yeah, and I didn't want to risk pulling the live Facebook feed and the YouTube feed in this computer whilst it's doing the streaming. So, join us on the 13th of June, next YouTube event. Hopefully, if all the tech goes right, I'll be recording the first episode of Jay's Kitchen. Sorry, streaming the first episode of Jay's Kitchen, not recording it, which will be a live stream. And that's going to be, it's probably going to be me just randomly picking like an hour's worth of music, and it might go multi-genre in one thing. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Hi, James and Steve. Who's that? Who's that saying hi, James and Steve? I have to wait 37 seconds now. Because it's so laggy, is this? The comments come in real time, and then
seeing as how Ian's there in the background, how would Ian feel about, not necessarily for us, is he planning on doing any live performances from his studio? Not just DJing.
Ian.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still Ian Kip eating. You mean Kip?
There's a cat on the roof. No, Ian Bland.
Oh, Mr. Bland.
Yes.
Well, we can always phone him. We've got his phone number.
No, I'm just wondering if he's got, while he's here, if he wants to get involved in the chat quickly.
Yeah.
Before we
Mr. Bland, if you want to there's a just a regular Facebook user. I don't know whether they come from the Carl Deary's here. He says, I'll also say hiya too then, 37 seconds later. Daz Mount, I was looking through my scrapbook the other day, Steve, and found some Empire flyers for us on, with us on Mad Days. Yeah, so if Mr. Blandy wants to make a few comments whilst just before we end, that'd be fantastic. What have you got coming up, mate? I need new tunes. If you've got anything to release that's on promo, 2 radio shows, something for the weekend, sir.
Or better still,
Is this Friday? Go on.
Join Jay Roberts on the show on Housemasters Radio.
Yeah, that's the point. We can do a link up because we had we have the technology. So any of you guys who are producers who have got new tracks and you want me to because the HMR shows don't get a lot of mass replays, but the live shows get a hell of a lot of listens as live, as aired. Which I obviously want people to listen to the Mixcloud versions as well whenever I get around to putting the damn things up there. Which is supposed to be becoming Sister Vixen's job. When I can get around to try it. Any Bowls Manchester's reunions play? Right. But yeah, the actual live shows get like 1,000+ listeners in total. So I'm told. There's like, even though the chat room on HMR can sometimes be the Mary Celeste, like the actual per hour block listener figures are actually pretty big. I didn't realise that until recently. So yeah, so anybody who wants to call on that, Facebook user again. Anybody who these must be people that are coming from the group. That must be how it works. I'm not sure. Doesn't say. Any Bowlers Manchester reunions planned? I don't think so.
We can't do. It's not something that I've got friends who are the Ballers lot, and also obviously the More Cake lot. We are not bowlers. We cannot do.
No.
We do not do an event that's not. Whether I've played somewhere or not, I would not jump on that bandwagon. It's not, so I could. There probably will be a Ballers night. There probably will be a More Cake night coming up, but it won't be down to us. We'll probably be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, leave. I don't want to say it in that. It sounds negative when I say we're not that big yet, but I think if we got that big, it would become less personable and less family than what we are now, as well.
Yeah. We will. We have got plans for the future. There's all sorts of ideas and festivals and stuff coming up, but we can't do anything at the moment. So there's no point in telling you too much because we don't know where we're going to be this time next year, do we?
No, exactly. And and this is the thing, we're all still in limbo. And all right, the government's talking about releasing these lockdown restrictions, and to be honest, they keep my personal opinion is that every time they make a statement, they kind of like they sort of take away something from this column and add something to this column and make it and like mesh it together more than the spaghetti under that desk there, and make it really confusing to follow.
Was I misreading that question? Was he asking us, were we going to try and book the actual event hall at Bowlers, or was he asking us whether there's going to be a Bowlers event?
It just says any Bowlers Manchester reunions plans. That's all it says.
Right. If he wants to specify it and message us later, we can talk to him after the stream.
Message us privately on that one. That's probably the best way to go with it. BEC have steered away from the old. Yeah, so Kipsy saying BEC have steered away from the old school type events anyway. Yeah, I mean they're doing more like exhibition type events now. Because there was a show I was supposed to work for at the beginning of May that was booked to work in there, and obviously that's gone away until at least next year, possibly 2022 now. So not really 100% on that one at all. I know I wasn't particularly happy at working at Bowlers. I've still got bad memories of the old days there. Carl Deary, that's all down to individual branding, like doing a Cream Ministry Hacienda night. You just can't take someone else's brand name. I play Bowlers, but I'm not exactly a Bowlers DJ. Yeah, totally. You can't just. Yeah, we want to be different, don't we, Steve?
We are what we are. I've played for some of the biggest brands over the years, obviously. You know, I've been involved with some of the big promoters before I was promoting for myself, and I could quite easily jump on the bandwagon of all, you know, the let's do an Empire reunion, let's do this union, but it's just that's for other people, you know,
Yeah,
to
and
do. I will play for somebody who wants to do that, but that's not what we have planned as such.
no,
You
and there's
know,
this
we
thing
do.
called plagiarism, isn't there? If you start mentioning somebody else's brand, like calling it Empire Reunion or something.
Well, you've got to get permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. We are free to dance, and not free to dance. So freedom to dance, as a lot of the DJs call us.
Yeah, Blondie
And
keeps calling us that. Freedom to
it
dance.
always seems to be, it always seems to be the big old school DJs that producers like Blondie and Pete Orme that calls freedom to dance. Brilliant. But there again, it's the same thing. Freedom to dance. You are free to dance. You want to have freedom to dance. It's the same thing. We appreciate it all.
Yeah. So I have one question, right? And we should decide this now. Right. So in what, 11 days is it? Whatever it is, we do another
Yep.
one of these.
Yep.
So what am I playing next time, Steve?
What are you playing? I think they should vote.
Yeah, I do. Right. I'll tell you what should I do. Right. Should I put a poll up in one of the things and say, go on, what style of set should Jay do next time? Right. And I'll list a few styles I'm confident that I know I can play. I don't want to end up somebody giving me like some like, weird piano concerto set kind of thing. Right.
Yeah.
Let's.
What are you wanting to play? Breaks, whether you want to like hardcore breaks from you want to
Please
play
say jungle.
jungle set, whatever. Just so
Jungle.
you know, we are planning jungle streams and hardcore streams, but separate from the ones we're doing. We've got a lot planned, but we're just working on it all at the moment. You can also, if you want me to play a certain type of music, obviously for all the people that know me, the big anthems is what I love, but it's not necessarily what I just play. If you want me to play an old school warehouse set, if you want me to play a trance set, if you want me to play a hard house set, if you want me to play a breakbeat set, let me know. I don't mind. I'll rip it out off the shelves and I'll sort it out for you. Not a problem.
Yeah. Comment from Kipsy. It's a smaller, more intimate events are the way forward. I photographed some massive names at bowlers, and it's a hard venue to fill. Yeah, I agree with that. And mate, I've seen your work. You should never have given up photography. I know you needed money and all the rest of it, but the opportunity you get, please get back into event photography because I can find you work left, right, and centre. Definitely.
Best photographer I've heard, as well as a very, very talented DJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I forgot. I apologise, Ian. I was focused on the camera thing because it was in your comment. Total props to you. I mean, you did it in summer. I didn't. There was there's reasons behind that, and it was just due to I just felt it was better that everybody got an hour rather than 50 minutes. I just don't. And I like the format we're doing on the virtual festivals because we get longer, and I really prefer to play longer sets. Don't forget, I'm from a commercial. I've played commercial clubs where you're expected to play for 6 hours. So doing a 6 hour stint without going for a piss is kind of like second nature. I can't see who's put that on FBUs, but we do have events. Yeah. So somebody wrote, you should definitely create your own event at a location. We do. We did. Yeah. We did have events at various places. The Boiler House on Aqueduct Street, Preston, Roper Hall in Preston. We've
Angel,
yeah, the Angel before that. That's where it all started, wasn't it?
I've done stuff all over the place, but we are planning to move around a little bit. We're looking for venues all the time, not just in Preston. We're always looking.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for venues, but they've got to be venues with the ability to be able to load in the gear that comes with it. Because 90% of the time we have to take our own equipment, which means taking a full sound system, which is like a minimum of 8 speakers to fill a room. And they're heavy, and then an amp rack to drive it, and then God knows how much in lighting, and then you've got staging to take half the time. And, the last thing you want is to be carrying it up 3 flights of stairs. In fact, more to the point, me as the crew leader will say, ain't happening. I have actually vetoed venues that Steve and Michaela have gone to look at, haven't I? On those grounds. Either just
2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, 2 flights of stairs, and also a health and safety nightmare to get the gear in and out.
Once you're in the venue and it's a 3,000 capacity venue of thing,
yeah.
but you can't get up there in the first place with your equipment. What's the point?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to think about it. You guys come and you see it for say 8 hours, right? So you lot turn up at say 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and we go on till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's a lot of work. It's nearly 12 hours before that just to get it to where it's openable. Ideally, we want to load in the day before, but that's 2 days with the crew, and the cost of doing it mounts up. If we could sell out 3,000 tickets at 20 quid a piece, no problem. But
we pay
we're
someone to log it
realists.
in.
So Jay Allen says, does Steve live in his car? No, he doesn't. So
no, but I have a small child at home that's struggling to sleep at the moment. My voice carries quite a lot, so I just find it easier to sit in here and do it with it on the holder as well than in my bedroom. We've done quite a few of these late. We have a lot of Skype calls and Zoom calls at night time, and I quite often disturb the family, so that's why I'm out here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Facebook user says Electric Church in Blackburn is a nice small venue. I believe it is. I've not had the chance to go and visit it. I hired some gear to it about 18 months ago for a night, but it was literally like a pick and drop. Dave went and did the drop and the pick for me. I didn't have time to go. I know the guy who owns it as well. I've spoken to him on the phone a few times. It's one of the places I wouldn't mind having a look at. It's got a stage. It's got its own sound system. It's a take your own source. But it's small. It's to pull off the production level that Free2Dance has got to. It's still a lot of work, but it's not outside of consideration. But the thing is, what we have to consider is how do we get people that mostly follow us in Preston to then take on the additional cost of travelling on a coach? Because when you look at it, like wherever the bulk of the tickets get sold around Preston for us, but that's because we mostly concentrate on venues in Preston, so that's only natural. You know, I am not a ticket seller, right? I never have been. I'm a techie guy. I am a DJ. I am a whiz with pretty much anything like that. But when it comes to selling stuff, I'm useless, honestly. I don't like the pay to play model that a lot of organisers have been going down. Oh, sell 10 tickets, mate. We'll give you 5 minutes back to back. We know somebody you've never heard of on a stage out in the middle of nowhere, and there's no hospitality, and you can't go onto the main VIP area either. And you got to bring your own decks. Yeah, I wonder who does that locally.
Well, we're
always not giving credence.
No, we're always considering moving out of town and stuff like that. It's not something that we're not considering. We are looking into it. We just thought James is based in Blackburn. I'm based in Kirkham, which is just outside Blackpool. Most of our crew is based in Preston, so that's why we're working in Preston at the moment. But yeah, we've got plans to move on. We just don't know what's going to happen over the next year because of what is happening at the minute. So there's no point in telling you anything about what we're planning until we know where we're going to ourselves.
Well, so I was just clearing up a thing there while she was speaking. So it turns out it's Mark. I guess that's Mark Singy. It says if you can't see my name, no, Mark. It just says for some reason that whichever way you're watching this stream, it's saying just Facebook user. It's not saying your name. So I've asked him in the chat which place he's watching, so I can figure it out and I can fix it for the next time we do this. Ian Kipps has just said. Got a final fun question for both of you, right? And I think this one is going to have to be the last one because I need to refill this glass with some liquid because I've been talking.
And I need to go and empty. So,
so this is going to be the final question. It says, Kipsy, beating. I got a final fun question for both of you. Free2Dance next event. If money was no object, which one DJ would you book and why?
Well, we talked about this the other
day. In the comments, who would I book? Go on, Steve.
Who would? Carl Cox.
Nope.
This is me.
Oh, you. Oh, God, yeah.
Carl Cox. And I would probably book him for an old school night and get him to play old school because trust me, don't think for 1 minute that he wouldn't play it. It's just that nobody books him for it. Go on, who would you book?
Roger Sanchez, of course.
Oh, well,
Silly.
yeah, definitely.
Damn right. I'd love to get him to play on my Ford X. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, so that's obviously Mark or somebody, Roger Sanchez. Yeah, just as I said it.
If you asked me who would you book, I'd say Roger Sanchez straight away.
Yeah, well, I said that. I went in the comments. Somebody say who I would book straight away because everybody knows that that's where I get a lot of like the remix on the fly influence from. But I also get a lot of the energy side, not just from him, but from DJs like Tall Paul, Carl Cox, Paul Oakenfold as well, Pete
Yeah,
Tong.
I wasn't actually thinking about other genres of music. I was just thinking old school. Then that's why I said Carl Cox. But Christ on that, I can name a million.
Oh god, yeah, same here, same here. And it's not just big names. There's a lot of there's a lot of talent that I've met that I still, I like their energy and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
that we've worked with. I mean, Ian, you watch him go to, and all right, I've ribbed Ian about the controller thing, right? But I do it as a friend only, and like I said, I don't care if you're playing the spoons or vinyl or even two tape decks, as long as the
No.
tunes are good, mate. We've jibed at each other about it, but yeah, Ian, I love his energy and enthusiasm and stuff that he puts in. I saw him I saw him do a set on Mayhem. I've been trying to
Yeah.
get Paul Davenport's attention to go and do a set for them because they do a lot more house stuff. We don't tend to do a lot of house for Free2Dance, and I want to play more, pumping and tech house stuff. Voodoo are apparently going to have me on at some point, so I'm looking forward to that. Going to be on one of their streams. But yeah, cool. But yeah, I've been trying to get all the Paul Davenport's attention, and of course he added me as a friend, and it was the usual 2 seconds later, join my Facebook page, join Mayhem, join this, join that, join the other. And I'm like,
We do get asked a lot about PS3 as well, and just watch this space with that one because that's something that is happening at some point. That's all I'll say with that one.
yeah. Matt Turner says, you guys converted me from vinyl to digital. Well, the format's just, do you know what, right? And I didn't say this when I was like slagging off like people who slag off the whole vinyl versus digital. I still actually really like playing vinyl. Can you see over my shoulder there? If I can get my hand in the right place on the screen. Yeah, there we go. There it is. So that's one case of it. And then there's another one in the background behind me as well, behind that Mac. So, some of Steve's records are on there at the minute as well. Co-joining collections. And it's just a safe haven for him. But yeah, I still love playing vinyl. But Matt, yeah, digital allows a lot more creativity on the fly. You can also preview a track a lot faster than going to your box and going. If you remember, Steve, you'll agree with this. With vinyl, you have to be very, very decisive about which track you're going to play because by the time you've got the damn thing on your sleeve, put it on the thing, found the mix, skipped through all 4 mixes, you've pretty much used up the track that you were playing.
And had to beat match as well.
Yeah.
Whereas let's not get controversial here, but whereas you've got 2 BPM counters there. I'm not talking about sync here. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I still beat match guy here." Well, yeah, but I've watched him move the BPMs and as near as damn it first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's be honest. You can be a lot more creative because you can express yourself in the mix, and that's one thing I've come to understand about digital. It's not about I can beat match. You watch me do it on vinyl all the time, but you can be more creative if you don't have to spend that minute and a half beat matching those by ear.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
I know that a lot of DJs, I mean, especially me as well, if you go through some of my really early vinyl, you'll find I've written the BPM on them, on every one of them at 0.
Yeah. A lot of people used to do that, so you have an idea where you are.
Yeah, which way I'm going forwards or backwards from the current pitch. Mark, I'm going to guess it's Mark Singay, as written in the chat. If you could book Billy Bunter, that would be sweet. Oh, fuck yeah. Billy Daniel Bunter, you fucking nutters. I love, he's my wake-up radio show now in the morning. 6:40 I wake up.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Billy Daniel Bunter and Slipmatt, maybe?
Yeah, I wake up 6:40 a.m. now, right? And I turn over, bleary-eyed, put Facebook on, wait for the ping, it says Billy Daniel Bunter is live, watch that, and he's going, good morning, you lot, you absolute nutters, sozzers up, going about his missus and all the rest of it. Oh, I've just had a coffee. And at the moment, he just rips so hard into Jay Foley, Fat Controller. every time he's on video, and I was going, "You mean can't," like that at him on Monday, and he's going, "No, me and Jane, I wrote." I said, "I know the thing. It's just it's just me taking the piss out of it and everything." But yeah, the way he riffs on Fat Controller, I'm Fat Controller. I did Incomplete Darkness, But yeah, if I could, honestly, yeah, if I could, yeah, Billy, yeah, I'd definitely if I could book Billy at some point, yeah, absolutely. Got some
Birthday next year,
comments.
mate.
Yeah, Jay Foley ripping. That's exactly. That's exactly what he's doing, Mark. He, just absolutely taking the piss out of Jay Foley. Them two are best mates. They're business partners. They work on Unity in the Sun and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so yeah, it's like me and Steve taking, me calling Steve Captain Vanity, right, and things like that. We're mates. It's just what friends do. Um, I loved Piano Junkies. I didn't know what happened to them. Brilliant mixes online. Yeah, definitely Piano Junkies. I haven't seen them around for a little bit. Carl Cameron. Digital gives you an edge. You need to be DMC level to do on vinyl. Digital brings music more accessible to more peeps. Totally. Absolutely. And especially getting a back catalogue. Because if you really want to be a vinyl junkie, right, you are going to empty your bank balance hard on buying that off Discogs, right? And take it from somebody who collects, well, it started as a collection, it became a business, vintage arcade machines. And when I was started buying them, you could get them for like 50 to 100 to 200 quid. And now I've just sold a load off, and I'm not going to disclose numbers. Have had to sell quite a chunk because my business has just gone completely under because of this coronavirus thing. I haven't been able to get a penny from any of these so-called funds. Every one of them involves talking to a bank, which involves me putting my house up against it. No, not happening. Just won't happen. So I've had to sell off a ton of games to see me through. And I'm, I bought long into it, but I didn't buy into it to make money out of it. I bought in, it's just been a lifeline, that's all. But yeah, you buy vinyl now, and it's like Mark Singy came round before all this, and he looked at some of my vinyl and goes, "Oh, that's worth 250 quid. That's worth 150. You could probably make a few grand. Just sell a few of those off." I'm like, no,
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 no, because
no.
like arcade machines, there's a good chance I might see that again. I sell
I've
like,
I've had it from 6 or 7 different girlfriends over the years, and that's why I'm single.
yeah.
I'm not selling the vinyl.
Hey, take it from the guy who used this phrase on an ex-girlfriend, right? When she started getting all pouty about this, that, and the other, and like they do from some of them do, not all of them, just like this particular one. I went, look, the vinyl was around before you, and by the looks of it, it's going to be around after you.
Correct.
So, and Richard Phillips writes, no, nope. I'm assuming that means selling vinyl. No, not a chance.
No,
Mine will go to the
no.
grave with me. It'll literally go to the grave. Somebody will either somebody will inherit it, right? I have no kids of my own. Me stepkids wouldn't be interested in it. They would literally just sell it off, and I'd rather it went to somebody who would cherish it and curate it.
Definitely. Right. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're waffling.
yeah,
I'm
we
sure
are.
a few people want to go to bed. I need to go for a piss. So, on that note,
I
look,
did set this stream to be not suitable for kids to watch because of the language that we knew we were going to get into.
massive thanks for everyone that's locked in. We've all, we've helped you out a little bit at some point tonight, or you've just generally enjoyed the chat. It's just a bit of banter at points, but I hope we got some good points across to you. And if you do want to, if you want to stream for us, feel free to get in touch, and we'll have a chat.
15-minute YouTube video, unlisted. Mail the thing in. Michaela will post the email again in the chat room. Shall we just shill for the channel and our pages really quick?
Quickly, and don't forget, Carl. I've been talking to you about it, mate. Just let us know as soon as you're free, pal. All right.
Yeah, can't wait to have you. If you're on the YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also, please share the video, this chat video back out. I'm sure there's a lot of people who won't have seen the live notification that would love to see it. So yeah, please do that. This ain't going to get copyright taken down because there's no music in it. It's just us. Also, please go and follow my DJ page if you're not already on there. Facebook.com/DJJ Roberts, and also follow Steve's DJ page as well. Facebook.com/DJ Fingers. Anybody else? Matt Turner says, very interesting, thanks. A lot of people saying thanks and good night. So it's good night from him.
It's good night from her.
Good night, everybody, and thank you very, very much for watching.
Good night.